That's awesome. That is awesome.
It's Scott from Hometown Horsepower. On today's episode, I'm going to be interviewing Jeff, the owner of his beautiful 72 Chevelle. Now, I saw this car with the front tires off the ground on Woodward Avenue. What's Woodward Avenue? Woodward Avenue is the state of Michigan's first road, M1. And hot rodders today still cruise up and down it on Friday and Saturday nights. Maybe a little racing here and there. The big event is the third Saturday in August. It's called the Woodward Dream Cruise, where over 1 million spectators show up and over 100,000 classic cars. And one of them was Jeff. I want you to meet Jeff. Jeff, thanks for being on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Scott.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. Tell me something about this car.
It's a 72 Chevelle. It's an original SS car. I've had it for 28 years. It's got a 498 in it with a turbo 400 and a 12 bolt with 373 gears.
This car sounds awesome. What kind of camshafts in this?
It's got a Isky solid flat tappet cam in there. It has 629 and 620 lift and 256, 260 duration at 50 thousandths.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, how do you get the front tires off the ground? How do you make that happen?
Really, it's just about having the right combination of springs and shocks in the front and rear. A lot of trial and error and reading, but it seems to be working okay right now.
It's working great. Now, this is a great example of a muscle car with high horsepower that's built on a budget. And we're going to open up the hood and go underneath. Hey, Jeff, why don't we just talk about your engine from top to bottom, okay?
Sure. The carb is a 850 Mighty Demon. It's pretty much stock. I've played around a little bit with the jetting and the accelerator pumps and the power valve, but nothing too crazy out of the ordinary. And for the intake, I'm running a Edelbrock Victor Jr. rectangle port intake. That's pretty much stock. It's been gasket matched, and that's about it for the intake. For the cam, it's a custom Isky solid flat tappet cam. It's 629 and 620 lift. The duration is 256 and 260 at 50 thousandths, and that is on a 108 lobe separation. The heads are a AFR rectangle port 305cc head, and those have the CNC combustion chambers, and then also have a 2.25 intake and a 1.88 exhaust valve installed. For the rockers, I have Crane Gold roller rockers, and those are a 1.7 ratio. The pistons are SRP forged pistons, 70 over, and that gives about a 10.85 to 1 compression ratio with the heads. I'm using Eagle forged stroker rods in a 6.385 inch length. The crank is an internally balanced Scat forged stroker crank. For the timing chain, I have a Cloyes. Nothing fancy there, just a standard timing chain, but seems to get the job done. The balancer I'm using is a Pioneer. It's internally balanced and SFI approved. The headers are Hedman, and they've been ceramic coated, and they have 2-inch primaries going to a 3-inch collector. And then for the exhaust, I have a 3-inch exhaust dumped at the rear axle. It has a H-pipe and Dynamax Ultraflow mufflers.
Well, thanks, Jeff, for being on the show. I know it took over 2 days to film this thing, and I really appreciate it. And to show our thanks, we're going to give you a Hometown Horsepower window sticker, a Hometown Horsepower decal, and best of all, a $100 gift certificate tire going to you. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Scott, and thank you, Bell Tire.
Thanks, Bell Tire.